Pierre Big Pharma panic, Avril confronts topless protester, Trudeau picks special rapporteur, Amazon invests big in Toronto business, and so much more. Welcome to 6 Minutes, the show that keeps you up to date with the 6 in minutes. I'm your host, Georgie. Let's get right to these stories. Despite calls for a public inquiry, Trudeau said last week that he would name an independent person as a special rapporteur to investigate allegations of foreign interference in Canadian elections.
Today, I'm announcing that I will be appointing an independent special rapporteur who will have a wide mandate and make expert recommendations on combating interference and strengthening our democracy.
This investigation is meant to shed light onto the recent confirmation of foreign interference in what CSIS is calling the greatest strategic threat facing Canada's national security. One of the major concerns is just how much the government knew prior and during the 2019 and 2021 elections. Trudeau chose his close family friend and neighbor, ex-Governor General David Johnston. Johnston is not only Trudeau's former neighbor, but also a sitting member on the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation and was also involved in the returning of $200,000 to China just weeks ago. Listen to Justin speaking about the man that is supposed to be looking completely unbiasedly into this matter.
I've known the Governor General since I was a kid, from visiting him and his daughters when he was principal at McGill, to spending time on the ice or the slopes at their family home in the Laurentians. And I've always known him to be a man of strength, intelligence.
Here's Trudeau in someone's unfinished basement defending his decision on what many perceived as conflict of interest.
When we are looking to someone who will always put the country first and put the interests of Canadians at the core of everything he does, there is no better name than David Johnston.
There's no exact timeline on when a conclusion from Johnston will be made. What's your take on Trudeau's decision? I would love to hear it down in the comment section below. Poilievre said he would announce a $44 billion lawsuit against Big Pharma if elected.
I will launch a massive series of lawsuits amounting to over $40 billion in claims in order to recover the federal health costs that have resulted from Big Pharma's dirty and disgusting actions against our communities.
Poilievre has also pledged to end the provision of safer supply of drugs and disallow decriminalization. On January 31st, BC became the first province in the country to start what will be a 3-year experiment on decriminalization, allowing drug users aged 18 and over to carry a combined 2.5 grams of opioids, like heroin and fentanyl, as well as cocaine and MDMA. The federal government is currently reviewing an application by the City of Toronto as well. In the month leading up to January 31st, 211 lives were lost to illicit toxic drugs, the second highest recorded number in a calendar month over the past decade in Vancouver. That's about 7 people a day. Studies show that decriminalization can reduce criminal justice costs, increase uptake into drug treatment, and provide major benefits for public safety and health. So the question still remains, does decriminalization work, and will decriminalization save lives in Vancouver and beyond? A Toronto gym is hosting a self-defense course for TTC commuters fearful of the recent violence on public transit. The website states, in response to a call from the community to provide training for violence on public transit, Toronto Krav Maga Academy and Combat Arts Training Academy want to make sure you, your kids, and your loved ones know what to do when faced with an attacker on public transit. You will learn things like situational awareness, defending from a seated position, preventing and defending against attacks in closed spaces and near train tracks. The training will be held at Fitco in Leslieville on Sunday, April 2nd. Links for everything I'm talking about today, as well as timestamps for the episode, can be found in the description down below. Amazon invested a portion of a $2 billion climate fund earlier this month in a company created by a 28-year-old Toronto scientist, Luna Yu, who turns food scraps into alternative plastics. Luna's clean tech company, Genecis, uses highly engineered bacteria to turn food waste into biodegradable natural polymers that can be used to make a wide range of products. Their sustainable plastics can be used in a wide variety of applications, including replacing single-use plastics, clothing, automotive interiors, medical tools and products, and so much more. With a chunk of Amazon's $2 billion climate pledge fund secured by the U of T graduate, Yu is aiming to integrate her sustainable biodegradable alternative plastic into Amazon's supply chain. Calgary City Council has updated a bylaw and brought in another to address escalating protests at Drag Story Hour. The family-friendly story times at libraries are held by drag queens or kings, and children are invited to dress in their best outfit and/or costume. The new law, called the Safe and Inclusive Access Bylaw, will immediately prohibit protests within 100 meters of an entrance to a recreational facility or library. Many are claiming these bylaws to be a violation of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, as it converts the peaceful expression of what is debatably the wrong ideas in public spaces into illegal street harassment. What is your take on the Drag Story Hour bylaw? Would you like to see it here in Toronto? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. The weekend was showered with awards at this year's Junos, winning Single of the Year, Album of the Year, Pop Album of the Year, and Artist of the Year. Avril Lavigne took home the Fans' Choice Award and got a little surprised while on stage.
I'm introducing an artist who's blown up on the global music scene with a new wave of R&B, hip-hop, and pop records fused with his Punjabi roots. Based in Victoria, BC, his music has gained a worldwide audience with sold-out shows in Canada, the US. Get the off. Get the off.
The Vancouver activist was charged with mischief after her little disruption, but was unapologetic about her public protest that garnered headlines around the world. Later that night, Nickelback was inducted by Connor McDavid into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame and closed out the night playing some of their classics.
Look at this graph.
New music this week. On March 12th, Casper TNG dropped Just Want a Glock. Check this one out.
Hey, yo, Big Rocks on me in the studio, no cap. Rip off limbs, flying out his Thames. I ain't trying to fight you, I can see you hit it.
On March 9th, Give My Remains to Broadway dropped Repent. On March 10th, Lion Pairs dropped No Hesitation featuring Anders. Check this one out.
You good at testing patience. I pull up my cup, put me to sleep. Pull up to your crib, no hesitation. Give me.
All music heard in these episodes can be found in the Showcase Toronto Spotify playlist. And that's it for this episode of 6 Minutes. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to tune in to next week's episode. One love.